It's a Minimalist Monday edition of Optimal Finance Daily, episode 871. Get these questions right and win the game of money by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. And I am Dan. I'm your host here on Optimal Finance Daily, where I read to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance, and I narrate articles from Mr. Money Mustache, Get Rich Slowly, The Mad Fientist, Rule 1 Investing, and many more. It's a lot like a gigantic ongoing audiobook that is totally free of charge. Before we get to today's post, a big thanks to Halpern Financial for their support. You know how important it is to save for retirement or make wise investments, but getting organized with your personal finances might be another matter altogether. And that's where Halpern Financial can help you. Find out how close you are to achieving your financial goals at halpernfinancial.com/OFD. That's HALPERN financial.com/OFD. For now, let's get right to today's post as we start optimizing your life. Get these questions right and win the game of money by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. Morning, hustlers. You ready for a new week? A new chance to improve your finances? How about your mind at the same time? Came across another money test on the internets, and according to the Motley Fool, if you don't answer these questions right, you're financially illiterate. Dope! Here are the 5 questions, along with my own answers, and then followed by theirs. Try to answer them first before cheating and see where you fall. Got my fingers crossed for you. Number 1, what is your net worth? They're starting off with an easy one, I see. $490,000. Boom! I swear, if you don't know this one by now, I've failed you as a blogger. Number 2, is it more important to pay off high interest rate debt or save for retirement first? I'm going to go with pay off debt. I can't say whether it's more important or less important as retirement, since both are pretty important. But I know emotionally speaking, it's much more gratifying killing your debt than it is saving for something that's 40 plus years away. Early retirement scenarios excluded. And in either event, your debt will need to be gone regardless. I also don't know of an investment that will give you a higher rate of return than high interest credit card debt. I'm guessing we're talking 15% and higher, and that's also guaranteed. With each credit card payment, you're essentially locking in your return, and a high one at that. So yeah, I'm going to go with paying debt down first, Alex. Number 3, when should you start saving for retirement? Dang it, I want to say today, but I just spent the past 8 seconds convincing you that your high interest debt needs to be paid off first. So I guess after debt? But that doesn't sound right. I never wait until debt is gone to start saving for retirement, especially if you get free money from employer 401k matches, which you should definitely do regardless of debt because that's an automatic 50 to 100% return right off the bat depending on your company, and also guaranteed. So my official answer here is start saving for retirement today if you can take advantage of some kick-ass perks. And if not, just hustle to get your crazy debt killed first while still throwing at least a few dollars toward retirement until you can put it in full throttle. I think it'll make you feel better even if it's not 100% financially smart. And honestly, any decision you make here gets you closer to freedom. Number 4, how much money will you need to have accumulated for retirement? We're getting trickier as we go. But when you've finally committed to chasing early retirement, in other words, financial freedom, one of the first things you do is you run your numbers to see how far you have to go and where you're starting from, which requires knowing how much you spend each month or how much you think you'll spend in the future in retirement as best you can, as well as your best guesstimate of income needed to accomplish it, whether from stocks, rental properties, pension checks, Social Security, or any other forms of passive or semi-passive income. In other words, the amount you need to retire will be completely different than your neighbors, and if anyone ever tells you differently, they don't know what they're talking about. It all hinges on your expenses. The more you need to live off, the more you'll need for retirement. Makes sense, right? And to figure out how much you'll need in retirement, a quick calculation you can do is to multiply your yearly expenses by 25, a rule that most in the ER community go off of. For us, this means $1,560,000 in income-producing assets in order for us to retire fully. That's $5,200 a month times 12 times 25, with the focus on income-producing assets. The house you live in or the $100,000 rare coin you own, you lucky doesn't count unless you're selling it. But keep in mind there are stages to retirement too. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing. As my friend Paula puts it, there are mini retirements, semi-retirements, and even retirement sprints, where you work for a few months and then play for a few months. Yum. I see myself in the perpetual semi-retirement phase, as I'll always be working on something even though I don't need the money anymore. It's just those somethings are whatever the hell I want them to be. If you want a fun spreadsheet to play with, plug your numbers into my early retirement calculator and see what it spits out. Knowing your date and age when you can retire puts everything in much clearer perspective and can be incredibly empowering as well. Number 5. Do stocks, bonds, or real estate grow fastest over long periods? Stocks. Bonds are slow and don't net you much, I don't think. And real estate, well, we all know how fast real estate is. In theory, it holds its value and only goes up, but as far as being fast, I'd say it depends on market and location conditions, something I'm quite obviously not an expert in. My guess would be stocks, real estate, and then bonds. Here's the answer key. Answer 1. Net worth. You either know it or you don't. Add up all your assets, which are savings, investments, and real estate, then subtract your liabilities, debts and loans, and presto, you've got your net worth. Answer 2. Debt or retirement. The fool says high-interest debt first all day, every day, basically comparing 10%, hopeful, market returns, to 25%, vomit-producing, credit card debt, which apparently some people have. How is that even legal? Anyway, they say that with lower interest rate debts, it's fine to manage while at the same time saving for retirement, which is the case for us and I imagine any other homeowner under the age of 50 since most carry mortgages for what seems like forever. Answer 3. When to save for retirement. Quote, as soon as possible, end quote. Lame, but also very true, which is why questions like these suck because you'll never get a straight answer since we're all in different stages. The real question to figure out is when it's possible for you, and realistically, it's usually a lot sooner than you think, which is why I say to start today even if it's a measly $5. You won't miss it, and it'll get the ball rolling that much faster. Answer 4. How much money do you need for retirement? Quote, there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. End quote. Aw man, I wanted to not listen to them anymore. But it is good to see they go off the 25 times yearly expenses idea too. I'm telling you, it's all about those expenses in our lives. You gotta keep challenging them to push them lower and lower. The less you need to live off of, the less you need to make. Answer 5. What's quicker, stocks, bonds, or real estate? Stocks. Ding, ding, ding. And then, according to their charts, which span from 1802 to 2012, bonds are next, though it didn't include real estate. Here's what they have. 1. Stocks at 8.1%, 9.6% between 1926 and 2012. 2. Bonds at 5.1%. 3. Bills at 4.2%. Treasury bills, I guess? 4. Gold at 2.1%. And 5. US dollar at 1.4%. So how did you do? Did you make me a proud blogger? Where I stand, the most important questions here were number 1 and number 4. You concentrate on those, and the rest is going to follow, no matter which route you take to improve them. And always remember, the only reason we pay attention to money is to hopefully not need to one day. Until then, you play the game the best way you can. You just listened to the post titled, Get These Questions Right and Win the Game of Money by J Money of budgetsaresexy.com. And thank you again to our friends at Halpern Financial. Have you ever tried to find a financial advisor? You want to find one who's independent, fiduciary, and fee-only, because fee-based usually means that there's a commission involved. These traits make you the priority as the advisor is obligated to put the interests of the client first. At Halpern Financial, these very qualities are at the core of everything that they do. Clients trust Halpern's advisors on how to manage their lives financially. It's like having a personal guide on the road to financial success. Find out how close you are to achieving your financial goals at halpernfinancial.com/OFD. That's HALPERN financial.com/OFD. And that should do it for today. Hope you enjoyed those thoughts from J Money, and thanks for being here each and every day and for subscribing. I'll see you right back here tomorrow in the Tuesday show, where I'll have a post from Rule 1 Investing and where your optimal life awaits.